Good. Okay. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the land of milk and honey here. Ironically, I went to school right across the street, living large. By now, we know, there's always expression we live in interesting times. We live in dangerous times. Not too long ago, the city came along and said they were going to pass a new tax, and this was the words. The measure targets ultra wealthy out of city residents and global elites who use New York City real estate as a vehicle for wealth storage rather than as homes. And then they went on to demonize American success stories, people who work 6, 7 days a week, came from nothing, and they made it in the land of opportunity. But we saw what was happening in real time. People like Ken Griffin were demonized. People went to his house, creating a class warfare. Then ultimately, what landed in people's mailboxes and across the world, right, for all to see. So instead of a handful, a few thousand people who were going to be targeted for this so-called tax, which was bad on its face, we discovered that almost 1 million people were listed. This isn't New York City. This is Havana. This isn't capitalism. This is communism. And guess what? The people behind me, they're the targets. They're now the enemy. They're the folks who perhaps came from other countries, maybe their first, second generation, working 6, 7 days a week, raising a family, investing in the American dream, their home. Now it's the American nightmare. Because now they have to prove to the commissars all the details about their home, the intrusiveness, the information. I mean, what world have we created where innocent people are now on some type of list? I said before, this is a dangerous, dangerous time. The right thing for the city of New York to do right now is to withdraw the list. Policy is policy, but to withdraw the list, because now everybody's pointing fingers, it wasn't me, wasn't me, wasn't me, so that these innocent people don't have to jump through hoops, incur legal costs to prove that it's their primary home. I would hope that the good people of this city and this state, there's a term in law, and Dan Master, Skip will correct me if I'm wrong, about dirty hands, latches. You come to the table with dirty hands. Well, everybody who was involved with this, from passing the legislation to executing it and administering it, you all have dirty hands. You can clean them by withdrawing this list and doing the right thing for all these innocent people. Every one of these people behind me are on this so-called list. We are the list people now, including me. In my case, not to personify, my case, it happens to be my father has the same name, so the home I grew up in is on the list, as well as the home Mary Pat and I own. So we're the list people. Just do the right thing. Happens across Staten Island. One lady who was here just told me that every person in her block, what block do you live on? Bryant. Every person on her block is on the list. We are in Midland Beach. I grew up in South Beach, but across the island, and a guy who really stands up for his community in Staten Island from the Port Richmond North Shore Alliance is Mario Bonviaggio. Mario, want to say a few words?
Thank you, Borough President. Just want to say to the people behind me that worked hard, achieved the American dream, shame on you for working hard on your success and purchasing a home. because that's what this government is showing. They're demonizing the hardworking people that purchased a home. What this administration has created is havoc in the poor Richmond community. Received a phone call early yesterday afternoon about a homeowner that's on the path to citizenship, and you should know you do not have to be a U.S. citizen to own, operate a business, or own a home and still be on a legal path to citizenship. Their name is on this list. So now you've created not only the hardworking people behind us, the people that are on the path, and now they're on this list. And now you've made it open for other agencies to look into, prying eyes to look into this list. I just don't get it. In December of 2025, we made a mention, brace for impact, because we don't know what's going to happen in 2026. This has been a battle since January 1st. And, making these broad strokes and making this list, I'm on the list. My family's on a list. My father of 94 years worked hard, still around. We have these designations in city council, speaker, majority whip, minority leader. It all has zero value when the administration itself wants to, establish this list. And even these individuals with these designations are upset. This is a very dark path. Now it's affecting the poor Richmond community. I'm happy to see that, poor Richmond's on the list, because we've been mislabeled as, destitute and poor and everything like that. The facts are on this list. If we go back 90-something years ago, one man made this attempt to, remove parties and dictate on what's going on. We're thankful for the military strategic people and the men and women of the military stopped that. And we all know what that is. It was World War II. And it's happening again. And everyone has made a mention. We don't want to see history repeat itself. Folks, it's happening right in front of us. This list proves other. I want to thank the borough president again. And we keep meeting with issues week after week. I'd like to meet on a good occasion saying, you're doing a great job, and he is doing a great job. And he's putting these issues on a front burner. So again, I thank you, and hang in there to keep the fight going with the homeowners that work so hard for what they have. Thank you.
Thank you, Mario. Thank you very much. And folks, we just put this together last night. This is, I think if we had another day, we'd probably have hundreds of people here, and they're rightfully upset. We were at the home of a first-generation family. Again, folks who have working 2 or 3 jobs. Speaking on their behalf is their son, Yassine. Yassine?
Thank you, Vito. This, let me be clear, is just another game of whack-a-mole we're playing with the city of New York. We keep fighting every single day for New York, and Vito has been on the front burner. Just like Mario said, this list has just become an enemies list. We have first-generation families, like my family here. We have my neighbors that are on the list. I know multiple people that are on the list. Guess what? They're on it incorrectly. So now this is just another game we're playing with the city. They keep putting us on a fight. Staten Island is not first on their radar. Again, we will fight every day. Thank God we have our borough president, Vito Fossella, who does fight for us. And that's about it. We just need to continue to fight and keep it going. Thank you, Vito.
Thank you, Yassine. Next up is Yesenia Thompson. Yesenia?
Thank you, Mr. Borough President.
Thank you, Yesenia.
Good morning. My name is Yesenia Thompson, and my husband and I have been out here for over 20 years. We've raised our family here. We've got 3 children. We're a longtime Staten Island homeowner. I'm wife to a retired NYPD officer and mother of 3, as I said. We do not own a second home. Where we live is not our second home. I would love to know where my first home is and where the funds for this first home, I would gladly pay it, sell it to get money. But my husband and I'm a disabled nurse. He's a retired NYPD officer, also 9/11 victim. And we struggled to get this home. 2 mortgages initialized to get this home. And we don't own a second home. Yet we are surprised to find ourselves on this list, but also the majority of our neighbors All of us work hard to make ends meet. The city made this list out to be a list of the rich, the bad guys, and yet so many of us working class people who own only one home are on it. It is not right. We all worked hard to build our American dream. My husband is retired in NYPD. Having our address out there published at a minimum is a safety risk. He has served 20 years with the NYPD. His name is on that list. His name is known to people that he confronted during his years as NYPD. That is safety risk. That's a risk to my family, my children, my neighbors. The city needs to make this right by my husband and children and the thousands wrongfully on this list and withdraw it. Thank you to Borough President Fossella and everyone here for speaking out against this injustice. Thank you all.
Thank you very much. Thanks so much, Yesenia. Appreciate the comments and, again, things you don't think about, safety issues, right? The putting people in harm's way. Next up is Maria Esposito. Maria.
Good morning, everyone, and welcome. But thank you so much to our Borough President, Vito Fossella, for bringing this information to us. Maybe we might have heard about it or read about it a few months back, like he said, but because he is making us aware, yes, I went on, I looked at the list. I'm on the list. I have family members on the list. I have extended family members, neighbors. You start calling these individuals and letting them know, and they had no idea that this list even existed. It is an invasion of our privacy. I am born and raised here on Staten Island. My husband has a family business, third generation, that he is trying to keep going almost 100 years later. And no, we do not own a $5 million house. And I also think that this opens up the opportunity for more scams. Maybe other people are getting these lists and saying, gee, I didn't know my neighbor was worth that much. And let me see if that senior citizen now will fall for my latest scam. Again, it is safety, privacy. There are so many other things that could occur from this list. And I do think, like our borough president is doing, as a group, we have to fight in numbers, and they have to take this list down. As of just a few minutes ago, it is still up there. So we have to be diligent and just continue to get it to take down. And again, thank you, Vito, for everything that you do for Staten Island.
Thank you kindly, Maria. Once again, another thing that people don't think about when they introduce and pass reckless policies. Last up is Valerie Martinez. Valerie?
Thank you, Mr. Fossella. I just want to bring attention that, I don't own a second home. My husband and I are hardworking civil servants. My husband recently retired. He is a retired TBTA officer, and it does alarm me that our address is out there. People that he might have had issues with in the past to come and look for him, scams, we're hardworking people. I live on a street where they also change the traffic pattern without any asking, where now I can't even park in front of my house, but yet I own a $5 million house. I work for the lowest paid, one of the lowest paid city agencies in the city that we've been 4 years without a contract. And I worked 60 hours a week. I worked for the FDNY EMS and 5 years without almost 4 or 5 years without a contract, but yet I own a $5 million house. I do not own a $5 million house. My husband and I are hard workers, and to find out that we're on this list, that we own a second home, is very alarming. And, it goes to show you, at least politicians like Mr. Fossella is looking out for the working man people. Thank you.
Thanks, Valerie. Thank you. Thank you very much, Valerie. Anybody else like to say a few words? Good? Okay. There was a movie many years ago where a dictator takes over a country. It's a comedy. And he gets up and he just starts giving these edicts and these pronouncements, one of which is, from now on, everybody under the age of 16 is now 16. It's meant to be a farce. It's meant to be a satire. But we're living in a satire. Because you go from, we're going to target the ultra wealthy with the $5 million plus second homes, to the people you just heard from, who've worked their tails off, never asked for anything, always give, and in law there's a presumption of innocence. Here they're presumed to be guilty. And we now know that almost 90% of non-residential property owners are on the list. Not too long ago, the city imposed this new whole garbage pail pickup, right? You got to get a new garbage pail. And guess what? People couldn't buy them. So you had to have them from a date certain. So the city wisely said, okay, we're going to extend it to Labor Day. Let's do the same thing here. Recognize that the mistakes were made. Recognize that innocent people have been caught in the middle of all of this. Recognize that you have the power to change course. Recognize that you have the ability to do the right thing. And just do the right thing. Any questions? Well, good. Thank you very much, everybody. Have a great weekend.